Hi guys, we are starting our 5th potholder in the 2024 Potholders Galore Crochet Along. Introducing the Suzi Potholder, a double thick potholder that is crocheted in the round and uses the Suzette stitch. The Suzette stitch uses a combination of the single crochet and double crochet stitch to create a beautiful texture that looks way more complicated than it is. You can find the free written pattern linked in the description box below, but before we dive in, it's time for our Crochet-Along Spotlight. Let's show some love to the amazing Maryann Heisler Topham, Lynn Marie Motheral, Kelly Davenport, Alexa Campbell Hoyt, Brenda Evans, Cathy Taylor Phillips, and Ramona Mannaa. If you'd like to share a picture of your finished potholder, you can do that in our Crochet-Along Facebook group here. Let's get started. To start our potholder, we're going to leave a nice long tail. We're going to make a slip knot, place it on our hook, and tighten it up. Now chain 30, or if you'd like to make a custom size potholder, you can chain any even number. To start round 1, we're going to skip over the first chain next to our hook, and we're going to go into the second chain from the hook. So this one here, we're going to insert our hook underneath the top loop. We're going to make a single crochet into that chain. And now we're going to yarn over, insert our hook back into that chain, yarn over and draw up a loop. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. And that makes a double crochet. So we've now made a single crochet and double crochet into that same chain. So with your stitch marker, I want you guys to mark that first single crochet that you made. So this one right here, go underneath both loops. And we're going to skip over the first chain here. We're going to go into the next chain, the second chain, go underneath the top loop of the chain, make 1 single crochet, go back into that same chain, and make a double crochet. Skip over the first chain, go into the next chain, underneath the top loop, make a single crochet, into the same chain, we're going to make a double crochet. We're going to do this all the way across. So skip over the first chain, go into the second chain, make 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, all into the same chain. Alright guys, we just have 2 chains remaining, so we're going to skip over the first chain and we're going to go into that second chain, so our last chain, and we're going to make 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and going back into that same chain, we're going to make another single crochet followed by another double crochet. That is going to be our corner stitch. So this is what round 1 looks like so far. And now at this point, we're just going to rotate our work so that we can crochet across the bottom of our chain. This is the chain that we just worked into, and the next chain here is unworked. So we're going to skip over this chain and we're going to find our second chain. And this one already has stitches in it. This one already has a single crochet, double crochet in it, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to insert our hook into this chain, going underneath the bottom loop of it. And we're going to make a single crochet followed by a double crochet. Okay, we're gonna skip the next chain. This one's unworked, and we're gonna go into the worked chain, the one with the stitches already in it. Go underneath the bottom loop of the chain and make a single crochet, double crochet. Again, guys, skip that unworked chain, the next chain, and go into the chain that already has stitches in it and make your single crochet, double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way across. Okay guys, we're at the end of round 1 and we just have 2 chains remaining. So we have this one here, this one's unworked, and we also have this one. This is the one that has our first stitch in it with our stitch marker. So we're going to insert our hook under that bottom loop of our chain and we're going to make a single crochet, double crochet. Now I want you guys to mark your single crochet with your stitch marker because this is going to be the first stitch of round 2. And then find your first stitch marker, this one right here. This marks our first single crochet. So remove it, insert your hook under both loops of the single crochet, and we're going to make a slip stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on your hook to complete the stitch. Now I want you guys to remark this single crochet with your stitch marker. So this is what round 1 looks like. To start round 2, we're just going to turn our work so that the back side of round 1 stitches are facing us. We're going to chain 1, and the beginning chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to find our first stitch marker. It's this stitch right here. So as you guys can see, there's a stitch in front of that, which is this double crochet. That's technically the first stitch of the round, but we're going to skip over that stitch and we're going to work into the second stitch, which is the single crochet. So we're going to remove our stitch marker, insert our hook into that single crochet going underneath both loops, and we're going to make a single crochet. And we want to mark this with our stitch marker because this marks our first stitch of the round. And now going into that same stitch that we worked our single crochet, we're going to make a double crochet as well. Now we're going to skip over the first stitch, which is the double crochet, and we're going to go into the second stitch, which is the single crochet, and we're going to make a single crochet and a double crochet all into the same stitch. Again, we're going to skip over the first double crochet and go into the second single crochet stitch and make a single crochet, double crochet. Skip over the double crochet, go into the single crochet and make a single crochet, double crochet. Skip over the first stitch, go into the second stitch and make a single crochet, double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around. Okay guys, we're coming around our corner, and so it can be a little tricky to see, but we're just going to try to tilt our work so that we can see these loops here that mark our stitches. We're going to skip over the first stitch, go into the second stitch, make your single crochet and double crochet. Okay, again, skip over this first stitch, go into the second stitch, single crochet, double crochet. And now we're kind of around that corner, and now we can work along the other side of our pot holder. We're at the end of round 2. We have 2 stitches remaining. We have this double crochet and then our last single crochet, which is marked by our stitch marker. So we're just going to remove our stitch marker. We're going to skip over the double crochet and we're going to go into the single crochet under both loops, and we're going to make a single crochet. Mark this one with your stitch marker because this is going to be the first stitch that we work into for round 3. And we're also going to make a double crochet going into the same stitch. Now find that first single crochet of the round, the one marked by your stitch marker. Remove it, go into the single crochet under both loops and make a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on your hook. And again guys, just remark that first single crochet of the round with your stitch marker. So this is what round 2 looks like. To start round 3, we're going to turn our work so that the back side of round 2 stitches are facing us. And we're going to chain 1. Just remember that the beginning chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to find our first stitch marker right here. We're going to remove it. So we're going to skip over that first stitch, which is the double crochet, and we're going to go into the next stitch, the single crochet that was marked. We're going to go under both loops and we're going to make 1 single crochet. That's our first stitch of the round, so we're going to mark that with our stitch marker. And going into the same single crochet, we're going to make a double crochet. Now just like with round 2, we're going to skip over the double crochet right here and we're going to go into the next stitch, which is the single crochet, and we're going to make a single crochet and double crochet all into the same stitch. Skip over the double crochet, go into the single crochet and make a single crochet followed by a double crochet. We're going to do this all the way around. So skip 1 stitch, go into the second stitch, which is the single crochet, make a single crochet, double crochet. Okay guys, we're rounding that corner. So again, just pay careful attention, make sure you're skipping 1 stitch, going into the single crochet, and just making your single crochet and double crochet combination. Skip, go into the single crochet, and then we can move on to the other side of our potholder. Alright guys, we're at the end of round 3 and we've just reached our stitch marker, which marks that last single crochet. So we're going to remove our stitch marker. Into that single crochet, we're going to make 1 single crochet, mark this with your stitch marker, and into that same stitch we're going to make our double crochet. Now find the first stitch of the round, this single crochet marked by our stitch marker, remove it, and insert our hook underneath both loops and make a slip stitch to join the round. Again guys, before we forget, remark that single crochet with your stitch marker. This is what round 3 looks like. To start round 4, we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 1 to start. We're going to find our first marked stitch, so it's that single crochet. So just remove your stitch marker. We're going to insert our hook into the single crochet going underneath both loops, and we're going to make a single crochet. This is our first stitch of the round, so we're going to mark that with our stitch marker. And going into that same stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. Okay, we're going to skip over the next stitch, which is our double crochet, and we're going to go into our single crochet. And again, we're going to make one single crochet and one double crochet all into the same stitch. Again, skip over that first stitch, that double crochet, go into the next stitch, the single crochet, and make one single crochet and one double crochet. And we're going to do this all the way around. Okay guys, we have arrived at our stitch marker, which is going to mark our last stitch of the round. So just remove that stitch marker, and going into that single crochet, we're going to make a single crochet. Mark this stitch with your stitch marker, and we're also going to make a double crochet. Now find that first stitch marked by your stitch marker, remove it, insert your hook into that single crochet going underneath both loops, and make a slip stitch to join the round. And again guys, just remark that stitch with your stitch marker. So this is what round 4 looks like. It's starting to make a pouch and fold in on itself, which is exactly what we want. Before we close our potholder, it might be a good idea to mark some stitches. So we're going to mark the first stitch of the round with our stitch marker, and we're also going to mark that last stitch that we made, this double crochet here. Alright guys, so we're just going to turn our work so that we are going to be working along the outside edge of our potholder. If the final round that you made was already facing the outside, then that's fine. You don't have to turn your work at all. And we're just going to chain 1 to start. So we're going to find our 2 stitch markers. Those are the areas where we are going to be inserting our hook. So we're going to remove the stitch marker along the front side of our potholder, and we're going to insert our hook into this stitch going underneath both loops, and we're going to find the matching stitch at the back. So this is also marked by our stitch marker, so just remove that, and we're going to insert our hook into that stitch going underneath both loops, and we're going to make a slip stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull through both stitches and through the loop on your hook, and that makes a slip stitch and joins those 2 stitches together. Now we're going to go into the next stitch on the front. This one is our single crochet. So insert your hook underneath both loops, find the matching stitch on the back side, so this double crochet here, going to go under both loops, and we're going to make a slip stitch, pulling through both stitches and the loop on your hook. Okay, going into the next stitch, this double crochet on the front and the matching single crochet on the back. Again guys, make a slip stitch to join them. And we're going to do this all the way across, making a slip stitch into each matching stitch on the front and back side. You want to try to make your slip stitches with consistent tension if you can, not too tight and not too loose. If it's too tight, our work is going to kind of scrunch up on itself, and if it's too loose, it might look a little wonky. Okay guys, we just have a couple of stitches remaining, so we're just going to insert our hook, try our best to go under both stitches, and again, that last stitch, we're just going to go into the stitch, push out the back, and make our slip stitch. So this is what our potholder should look like. The top is nice and closed and seamed. To make your chain circle, we're going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to find the first chain that we made, this one right here, and if we tilt it to the side, there's going to be 2 loops, one here and one in the back. So insert your hook under those 2 loops going in from the side, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the loops and through the loop on your hook, and that just makes a slip stitch and closes our chain circle. So now pull up on the loop on your hook and keep pulling to make a nice long tail, trim it, and pull tight to close. Thread your yarn needle with your tail, and we're just going to insert our hook going underneath that last slip stitch that we made. We're going to go in through the inside of our pot holder and come out a few rows below. Pull the yarn needle through, and that kind of closes up our chain circle really nicely, and we can make a knot at this point, weave it through a few more stitches to secure this, and then when we're ready, trim it. Alright guys, so this finishes our tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoy making your pot holders, and I can't wait to see how they turn out. This is just a reminder that you're welcome to share a picture of your finished pot holder in our Facebook Crochet Along group here. It's linked in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks on Wednesday, September 4th for our 6th pot holder. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.